Hey guys, I got a, I got something I want to talk to you guys about. The other day, I was in it wasn't really a discussion, it didn't really even get that far, but it was about being human and what that meant, I guess. And it involved this person. You'll know who you are, and I don't mean anything mean by this, but I just wanted to talk about it and share my opinion, because I felt it's a really important subject to talk about, especially now in our day and age. And their opinion was based around, in my perception, of the fact that humans are, we're just animals, we're just a bunch of cells, and even further boiled down from there, a bunch of biological processes that, don't mean anything. For example, love is a completely chemical reaction that takes place in the brain, and that it means basically nothing because of that. That it all can be boiled down to amino acids and nothing really. And I found that to be incredibly frustrating and incredibly depressing, because I've always loved science. I've always loved brain chemistry, physics, like really, as I just said before, boiling it down to its basic elements. I always thought that was fascinating study of science, and that it was an incredible way to go about life, like thinking about like how amazing things are on such a small level. But then when I heard that viewpoint, using those facts and those ideas of reducing it to its simplest form, in a depressing and degrading, not even degrading, but dehumanizing manner, basically saying that, what makes us human doesn't really seem to matter. I thought that was incredibly just, I don't know exactly why I took a lot of offense to it, but it's one of the few things that I do take offense to. Most of the time I'm pretty laid back about most topics and pretty accepting of most people's opinions, but I just thought that it was an incredibly, in my opinion, kind of sad way of looking at things. Like, how I hope that not many scientists actually look at the world that way, or many people who are really interested in chemistry and biology and physics, because that's just incredibly depressing. I mean that, like, all the love I've had, all the happiness and joy and pleasure and angst and heartache, all my dreams, hopes, ideas, feelings, they don't mean anything. I don't think that's true. I think that really defeats life. Kind of like a big slap in the face. I don't know, I thought that was ridiculous. I don't know, do you guys think that's nuts? Like, respond in the comments below. But, like, that... I feel like that describes life as a zero-sum game. That, the total is equal to the sum of its constituents. I don't think that's true. To use science to back up my argument here, I would say that it's similar to, E equals mc squared, where even though you have a bunch of, neutrons and protons of whatever, atomic mass units, like 1.000187 or something, and whatever the neutron is, and the electrons, when you add those together, this is where the weird thing happens, and this is why Einstein was so incredibly smart and insightful in physics. Because when you just added up all those masses of all the individual constituents of the atom's nucleus, it didn't come out to its actual atomic weight. And so he was really confused by that. And then he, started doing some thinking and figured out that energy can be converted into mass. That the whole is greater than the sum of the constituents. You could be like, okay, pull the Leonardo da Vinci thing. Like, I'm Adam Winters, I'm in the big circle thing right here, I do this, and that's it. I'm, just in like a biological specimen. I don't really mean much. And then, like, oh, he's come up with some ideas that don't mean a whole lot. And, he's, made love to these girlfriends or whatever and tried to impact these people's lives. And he's done these things here and there, like, I don't know, he, like, good and bad. Everything. Like, I cheated on my 8th grade science fair thing. Like, that, for some reason, was a big, impactful thing in my life, and I've always felt bad about that. That was, I don't know, 6 years ago, almost. And, like, to say that all those individual events, all those different things, don't really mean that much when added up, I don't think it really tells who I am. I don't think it tells who people are. And so that's something I think it's really important to think about, that even though we live in an age of scientific advancement and insight, and how, science and a lot of the younger generation doesn't really believe in, there being something, like, unexplainable about life, or how, like, how religion has no scientific evidence of God. There's, like, some examples that are kind of iffy, but, if you really put them under the microscope, they really fall apart. I'm not saying be religious and go and be ignorant about the way you may think the world works, but just really take a moment to think about how special everything is. Like, like, shit, holy crap, that is amazing. I mean, New Bedford over there, like, I'm just in Little Old Woods Hole, it's a nice sunny day. If you, like, take it apart individually, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I've got you guys sitting on top of a cinder block, a bench, and a table. There's nothing really to it. But, I mean, this view that I'm giving you guys right now, I think that's pretty nice. I think that's incredible. I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't think science can really explain beauty. I don't think it can. You could boil it down to, like, oh, humans always like to be by the water because it provides a source of food and, like, whatever, all sorts of different shit. There's a reason why we like nice trees with, so we can escape predators or whatever shit. But I don't think that life is just a zero-sum game. I think it's greater than the mass of its constituents. Talk to you guys next time.